Dust Bowl Palooza and getting everything greased, I can get started. Got my laser set up. I actually went and got the boom receiver. It was in the Peterbilt yesterday, so that's why I didn't ever break it out. But we're within a few inches up here on getting the grade right. Like I said, the builder's not here yet. I'm supposed to move these stakes, I think, so it'd be a lot easier if I could just dig them out and he could just re-stake them. But I think it's easier for him where you have to relay the entire house out. But what I'm going to do for starters is kind of grade this down, get this cleaned up, get it right to the grade that I want, and then I can come back and dig those little piles out after the fact. And then I'll jump over here and dig the garage out. I was waiting to hear back from the concrete guy on how he kind of likes to have those. I've seen it all different ways where they'll either dig out the entire garage, some of them will leave like a chunk of earth in the middle, which I may do. That's a pretty good size garage. I lost the stake, but it's that pile of dirt right there at the left corner of the bucket. But what I may do is actually come up a foot, because they're going to pour a form footing, and then they'll do a wall, but it's going to get filled in. It's actually going to be a foot higher than what that dirt is right now is the finished floor area. So I didn't see the point of digging down 4 feet so they could, you know, do a 3-foot wall and a foot high footing. I may bring it up a foot from what this grade in the crawl space is, and then just cut it. I may cut them like a, I don't know, 8 or 10 foot wide square out of there, and maybe leave the middle. I don't know if that's going to be too much of a pain for them to set their walls and take their forms off or not, but I think that would give them ample room. That's the biggest thing, is taking the forms back off once the basements are poured. So I'm hoping one of these days it'd be kind of neat to get like a time lapse of the process or see some of it. But when they do these basements or crawl spaces, they got these big aluminum panels that they set, and when they're setting them, you know, they can do most of the work from the inside, but after you pour that concrete, you have to get somebody in between the outside of the wall and that dirt right there. So that's why they like to have a good over dig, because, you know, you may only have 2 feet in between that wall and that dirt right there, and you're trying to take a 9-foot path. It's a little dangerous too, but it's just easier if those guys have a little more working room. It makes their life a lot easier. A lot of people don't like to do it because they think they're spending too much money excavating, or, you know, having the guy have to backfill or digging out more. But if it's safer and it makes the concrete guy's job easier, they can actually work quicker and more efficient. So you're really money ahead to just dig it out a little bit more. Jump back, and what I'll have to do now to set my laser up, you need to try to get it where the stick is. That's something I don't really care for this receiver I have, is it doesn't have a plumb indicator, but it's really the best thing to do is down there on the bottom, like where the main pin's at on the stick. Top Notch told me that if you just take something and kind of paint a line across there, that way when you roll, you know you got the bucket back in the same position. Where right now I may get it close, but if you have a line, when you turn it, you line those 2 lines up, you know, and then you can kind of tell. I mean, it's a little difficult, but you guys may not with the sun in your eyes, but the stick looks to be fairly straight up and down. Because if you have it too much in or out, that's going to throw your grade and everything off too. But I'll set that there, and then I'll get out with the receiver on the little rock, the grade rod, check it. If it's level, then I'll turn my receiver on the excavator's boom or stick and place it on the machine, and then that way I can know every time I set it back there it'll be level. So we'll jump out and get that thing set up real quick. like that. I don't quite, I got the laser over to the side, so it's gonna work. So now I can set it here. I know that I'm level. I put a paper towel in there because I'm all, I don't want to scratch it, even though I just painted on it, but that was necessary. You can't really see it, it's got to be done. But now it should make life a whole lot easier, as long as I can stay where the lasers lined up. And you can see how I got that red paint, so I need to go down a little bit there. That'll work pretty slick. So like I said, if I'm an inch or so too high or too low, that's the good part about these. They'll do what I call a formed footing. They'll actually go around and run concrete stakes down there, and then they'll put their 2x12s on it, and they will raise or lower those to the exact height they need. So like I said, if there's a little bit of variance, I'd rather go a little lower, because if it's not enough, then they're, they gotta kind of dig out where their boards go. So an inch or so, I mean, as long as you're not like 3 to 6 inches or whatever, an inch or so that's fine. So this is gonna make life a whole lot easier.